Okay, this is week number 5, and we are certainly over halfway done, and people are making very good progress, especially in writing and getting um, ideas organized into a form that is a form that looks like a good essay and has support that is what we really want. Do a couple of things. First of all, remember when you're doing a summary for college has to have not only what the writer said, but your reaction to it. Either some story about your own life that relates to it, or an analysis of the piece. Let me give you an example. Walter Redue's piece about why prisons don't work. Um, I said this to several of you, but I think one of the things about his argument that is a little bit flawed is that when he wrote that essay, he was himself in prison for murder. And so the young man that he is talking about who acts rashly and has matured out of being a crazy, wild, violent young person would be him. And so that is a fallacy where you use yourself as the only example. It's called solipsism, which we probably will talk about later. And it, all the things many of the things that he says, of course, are good and accurate and everything. It's just that he's relying on himself to make political and societal change. Anyway, I in the module you'll see that I found something about doing research that you need to work on your in-text citations. People used numbers and statistics and didn't really say where they came from. If you say that it came from U.S. News and World Report, for instance, you still have to say, where did you get that? I mean, was there a page number? There has to be a date and so on and so forth that you found that information. Okay. As you were starting to do your second draft of your research paper, be sure you are looking at the research guide that is in your textbook. That's why we have this particular textbook, because it has a very good guide to research. And use it, please, so that you get everything in the right form. As I've said before, this whole research thing is not just about the paper. It's about learning how to do all the steps to get to a paper that is balanced and logical and presents a good argument. In the readings this week, they are mostly problem and solution readings. And I think the first one is Indian Education by Sherman Alexie. And you may think that perhaps he has only one problem and only one solution, but keep looking, because it is a series of various problems that he is bringing up. And then the last thing I think you should do is this documentary about Portland, Oregon, and what is going on there. Since that documentary was made, several stores have left Portland. Cracker Barrel, a restaurant, not the kind of gift shop that I think we've seen lots of places, and Walmart. And the big one that has happened is that the REI, which is right downtown, is going to leave Portland. And all of these big box people, their complaint is that, you know, people on the streets either steal things from the store or cause violence to the store. But also, as we know, in Santa Cruz for sure, having people out in front of a store that intends to do business, people who are um, panhandling, using drugs, falling asleep, whatever, does not encourage uh, older people, especially who may come to Santa Cruz to buy a lot of stuff. That does not encourage them to come into a store. It discourages them from going into a store, and merchants are distressed about that. And then you should know that Oregon is considering a law making sleeping on the street not illegal. Um, and there's a lot of ramifications to if they pass that kind of a law. Other cities have tried that. And when you look at the documentary, you may want to look at some of the solutions, especially San Francisco has tried a lot of different things. And maybe when you're talking about solutions, you might want to look at some of the things that that other places have tried to do. Okay. And everything is working except some of you are not doing the discussion. Some of you are doing everything else, but not the discussion. This week, the discussion is about Instagram and Instagram's policy of trying to get young people to um, use that social media. And so, all right. I look forward to what you do this week. I enjoy reading your ideas.